Hello and welcome back to On the Bucket. Last time we talked about keeping snakes as pets versus having a collection, and today I'm going to talk to you about the cost of having a collection.
Hi! 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 Hi!
Welcome to our channel!
Hello.
If you enjoy learning about reptiles and having a good laugh, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button.
Hit.
Smash it. Smash it. Smash it right now. And don't forget to hit that notification bell.
Hit.
Smash it. Okay. As requested by Marcus, he was wondering if I could talk about the difference of having to pay for one pet or a couple pets versus having to take care of a collection. I have with me here Fade. Fade is a little bit of a scaredy cat. I didn't raise her, and once again, lots of the time when I get animals that I haven't raised, they are not as chill or as tame as the ones I raise myself. Fade's the kind of snake that I can hold fine, and she's never bit me, but if other people try to hold her, they probably get bit because she gets scared, they get scared, and then mistakes happen. But by being calm and spending time hanging out with her and whatever, she's gonna get more trust and chill out more, and eventually, hopefully, she'll tame down quite a bit. She already has. Snakes are really the greatest pet. To maintain a snake like this, or even larger, it ends up costing about $100 a year to feed. It all depends on how many snakes you're feeding. So if you think that an adult boa costs about $100 a year to feed, and a baby boa to a year old costs probably less than $50 a year to feed, and then we say we have about close to 100 snakes in here, I've calculated my costs, and they're usually about $2,500 a year just to feed them. Then you got a bit of electricity. The electricity isn't bad because everything that I have is on heat tape. The only thing I'm really using lights for is my tortoise, so she has UVB LED lights and a Qi heater. So those, and then over here in my racks I have heat cable. So I just got 2 new racks. I got rid of the one I used to have, so I upgraded those. I just made them tall and thinner so I could fit more, or put 2 big racks instead of having the wide one and whatever. Then I just put in a new rack. Said before, the one thing I've kind of felt guilty about is not giving my leopard geckos enough space. So my leopard geckos very soon are going to be upgraded from basically being in a bin like this to being in like a nice bin that's about 3 times the size. So really excited for that, and I'll show you that, and I'm gonna do an episode about building racks soon. You see me and my buddy John doing that. So those are things that really helps with the cost too. If you build your own racks, which is fun, it's inviting my friend over, play some music, and just have fun building snake racks, and it gives you another chance to be creative. And then after you've built one, usually you see what you've done wrong, and then the next one you build will be funner. Other ways to cut down on costs. I don't use any substrate. I really, first of all, like, some people do like it. It does look a lot prettier. My issues with substrate, well, number one is actually probably that when your snakes pee in the substrate, it's hard for you to get it all. Yeah, you can scoop out a poo, but if the pee gets stuck in there, it's very easy for pee to be left over. I have a convenience store down the street, and basically I just went to them and said, hey, can I get all your newspapers? So I get the regular newspapers and the Sunday Sun. The Sunday Sun is like long and it fits into the smaller homes easily, and then the regular newspaper gets stretched out, and I use about 3 sheets and put them into each of the bigger snake homes or snake racks, and that cuts the cost a ton, because basically I'm recycling newspaper and it's cost me nothing, and then I'm helping them out because they don't have to carry out their newspapers. I go in, they have a stack ready for me, and I take them. So I basically have free substrate for all my animals. It's extremely sanitary. I get to see, like, the moment there's poop, fresh newspaper done. It is simple, and that's kind of what you want when you have a lot of animals. If you only had, like, under 5 or under 10, I would actually go out on garbage day and get cardboard and cut it to the shape of the enclosure, put that, and that looks a lot nicer than newspaper. But really, when cleaning day comes, it takes so long to do all that newspaper is fine. The other thing with substrate is I have asthma, so when the substrate moves and stuff, there's dust, and that would bother me also. So simple is key for me, and very clean, sanitary. I got one room here with close to 100 reptiles in it, and I, like, if you were here smelling it, or you've been to my place, lots of people know, it's like, wow, it doesn't smell. Those are some ways that you can save with some costs. Also, selling snakes can make some money too, but just to put things into perspective, because lots of people don't understand how much it really costs. The biggest cost is not money, but time. The time that you have to spend with your animals to make sure that you have nice, clean, healthy animals. The time that it takes to clean everything. That's the biggest cost. That's what you have to consider. So I really encourage anyone getting into snakes to do it slowly. Figure out what you want to do. Figure out how to do it. That's like basically what I've been doing too. So I've been into snakes for about 8 years now. 3 or 4 years ago I started breeding, and the first time I bred I just did 1 pair. Then the next year I did 3 pairs. Then the next year I did 5 pairs. Then this year I jumped up to 14 pairs. So it's just like I've slowly like tried and tested and seen what works, seen if I can sell a whole litter of boas, see if like what people like, and working on that, then now working on this to teach more people and help people, also to let people know that if you're in Canada and you want a captive bred snake that's going to be super chill, I'm here for you. The cost of time is what you have to consider the most. It just means that when you would have had free time to do other things, now you're going to be cleaning snake poo. So, and on weekends when there's snake shows, you got to go to those snake shows, you got to meet people. You have to be able to be friendly and make connections if you want to be able to sell anything, because they're not just going to be bothering you, hey, I want to buy this, hey, I want to buy this, hey, I want to buy this. Like, it'd be nice in a wonderful world where everything's perfect, but that's not how it works. You have to put your time in, you have to be friendly and nice to people, you have to like people. If you don't, it doesn't matter if you like snakes if you don't like people. Liking people is probably more important than liking snakes, because they're the ones that you're going to have to deal with all the time, unless you're just looking at it like they're your pets. One big mistake that lots of people do is buy an expense, like they'll put money in and buy somebody else's collection. And if you're a big time breeder and you already have a big business and everything, fine. You could do that. That will work for you. You already know what to do. But some people will go and buy a collection, and they go from having no animals to all of a sudden even 50 animals, and it goes over their head, because all of a sudden now they went from never having to care for anything to having to take care of 50 animals, and it ends up basically frustrating them, and lots of the time they don't last that long. They'll end up getting out of it, and lots of snakes will end up getting sick, and just a whole pile of bad things happen. So as I was saying, like for me, I spent 8 years picking snakes, going to reptile shows, picking one, next reptile show, picking one. So slowly growing a collection. So I was taking care of 3 snakes. Then I'm taking care of 8 snakes. So it's like I've slowly been taking care of more and more. So the load is something that I'm used to. It's something that I like. And when you've raised baby snakes from the time they're babies to the point where they're adults, I've literally had babies, raised them, watched them have babies and raise them, and it's just like it becomes kind of like a little family where you know all of their personalities, and it makes it a lot easier for you to clean and take care for them, because it almost feels like you're just kind of taking care of your family. When you just go and buy a collection, you won't have that connection to those snakes. So you'll be missing out on that whole love and care that you'd feel for them. You'd just be looking at them like your money makers, and if they're not making you money, you're not going to be happy, and you're just going to waste your time and money. Just to put things again into perspective, I think I've probably spent about $40,000-$50,000 on everything in this room. Last year I made $6,000. So that wasn't that much. This year I already made probably close to $6,000 just in the last few months. So, but it's also taken me 8 years to actually start profiting. It wasn't until the 3rd year of breeding, so 3 years ago was the first year that I actually basically made my costs. Then last year I made a little bit of a profit, and then this year I'm making a bit more of a profit. So it's going to take time to like build up your collection and get to the point where you understand breeding, where you understand animals, where you understand how to sell them and everything. That's going to take a while before it ends up outsetting the costs that you put into it. But even if, like, I look at it like if I'm able to have my collection pay for everything and make me a bit of money, I'm happy. It's never been really my job or that I'm going to make all my income breeding snakes. I'm a hairdresser, that's my job, and breeding snakes is something I do for fun. And I think that you'll enjoy it the most if you do it for fun.
Yeah, that was wonderful, wasn't it? Now make sure you
Circle.
yeah, click the circle.
Yeah, I did.
And then watch this video or this one.
No.
Yeah?
No.
Yes. It's not that hard. Which one appeals to you more? Is it this one or is it this one?